Here we are again, once again, with Weathering the Weather with Ed.
Correct.
And nobody is weathering the weather with Ed quite as much as I am.
You're into therapy yet, right?
Yeah, I've been in therapy. So today we are talking about, anybody want to guess here?
I do. It's tornadoes.
It's tornadoes and hurricanes.
Right.
A little bit of hurricanes, yeah.
What do you mean a little? Oh, all
Well,
right.
because of the tragedy in Moore, Oklahoma,
Yes.
we do actually want to focus a little bit more about tornadoes. Hopefully answer some questions that people will have and encourage them to... People, yes. That's what they are.
Chipmunk.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll encourage you to ask some more questions about tornadoes that you may have. And of course you can send those questions to weathered@westfordcat.org.
Right. Am I supposed to say cat, not dog?
Cat, not dog. That's right. All right. It's getting a little tired here. We're going to have to come up with a new joke for that one. Okay.
It's up to you. I don't have to do anything.
All right. But before we
But
start
when I'm getting paid, I don't have to do anything.
Well, that's true.
Go ahead.
All right. So before we start talking about the tornadoes, we do want to bring up Ed's amazing study guide. It's a standalone study guide. We tried to get you to donate last time to get one of these for your very own, and we're going to do that again.
Or just send in $25
or just send in $25. Now, why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this because we're trying to raise money for Parkinson's research through the Michael J. Fox Foundation. So all the net proceeds that we get are going to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. And you can send them directly to Ed Cohen. I know that's a leap of faith to trust you.
Yeah, Mr. Abscon. No, send a check. Put it out to me, though. I can't handle it otherwise.
Right. Ed is acting as the go-between, but this is tax deductible. If you want to receive what do you call that thing?
A receipt.
A receipt.
Thank you.
The thing you get back.
That the IRS will okay.
Yes, you will be able to write that off on your taxes as well. It's for a great cause.
Yeah.
And this is an amazing book. And if you don't want the book, if you want to just send the $25, that's even better because all of your money will be sent. Exactly. And what do you have right now? What are your current numbers?
Thank you. I have $1,005 I've collected. and the net is 92.7%, which means $931.19 goes to the foundation right now. That's an amazing net number.
Right, and your only expenses are postage, and if you're able to see
I handed
the person, you hand the book.
And it's only $3.
And then the cost for printing it, that's it.
That's the $3.
Right, and that's a higher percentage than even Michael J. Fox.
He runs at 88.
88 was still an amazing amount that is donated directly to the cause.
Most don't even get close to that, most.
Right. Actually right now, what we want to do is we want to show you a PSA that was produced by the Michael J. Fox Foundation. And it's a short one.
And then we have a biggie after that.
And we have a biggie after that, but we're going to show you the short one first.
What do you see? An actor? An athlete? How about two people who share a common illness? No different than the millions of others with Parkinson's disease. Except maybe we can capture your attention, raise money, help scientists find a cure this decade.
To make a donation today, call 1-800-708-7644.
Look again, you'll see two people who won't stop fighting until there's a cure.
I'm still bad. I believe I'll make a comeback.
All right, so that's Alex P. Keaton.
Alex P.
Foundation for...
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Don't you remember the show?
No. How old do you think I am? I'm 7.5... Wait a minute. 9.5 in dog years.
All right, so we have another video for you, and this one is...
Can we hear this one?
Sure. If you want to know how the money is spent, they put together a great short video about what it takes to get drugs passed in the United States through the FDA.
What, it's over $1 billion, way over.
Right.
Maybe it was several billion.
Well, instead of us talking about it, we're going to show you that video.
Thank you.
Take a look.
Hi, I'm Debbie Brooks, the co-founder of the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. We launched in 2000 with the goal of delivering better Parkinson's drugs to patients and ultimately finding a cure. So we've had a few years to learn just how complex drug development is. Sadly, to bring one new central nervous system drug to market takes 15 to 30 years and well over $1 billion. So what does it take to get an aha moment to the drugstore shelf? Just explaining drug development is a challenge, so I often use the alphabet as an analogy to help make sense of these complicated concepts. The The first part of the alphabet, say letters A to F, represents basic research. This is where a scientist, typically an academic, looks at some molecular process in our cells and asks, what's happening here? Why is it important? As taxpayers, we fund over $30 billion a year at this stage through the National Institutes of Health. This discovery science is the backbone of drug development worldwide, but aha moments alone are not enough to make a difference in human health. The next chunk of the alphabet, say letters G to P, represents translational research. Discoveries worked on for years in basic science are now examined in the context of a particular disease. This work helps us identify ideas that may actually get us closer to new medicine and enable the leap of faith from testing in a petri dish to testing in a human being. The bad news is that most ideas will fail at this stage. It's the valley of death where breakthroughs go to die. The very few therapies that do make it through the valley of death still have to navigate Q to Z, clinical research, where potential new drugs enter human testing. Clinical research is a lengthy, multi-phase process, and each phase requires years and new rounds of funding. At this stage, it's necessary to design trials, recruit volunteers, collect data from patients, analyze the findings, and finally, prep for approval from regulators before a drug can become part of a physician's arsenal. Across all diseases, the total yearly expenditure here is about $70 billion, mostly in private investment from drug companies. But even after getting as far as Q to Z, only 1 in 12 of those treatment ideas are ultimately proven safe and beneficial to patients. Between government and industry capital across that whole alphabet, we're up to $100 billion a year spent on drug discovery and development, and we have shockingly little to show for it. The Fox Foundation's total research investment to date measures in the hundreds of millions. That may sound like just a drop in the bucket given billions are required, but we believe getting results for patients isn't merely about spending more money, it's about spending the money smarter. That's why 90% of our funding goes to moving ideas into that middle part of the alphabet and beyond through the valley of death to the clinic. Our strategic investments identify and chaperone the ideas that are most likely to have an impact on human health. We provide researchers with the financial and intellectual resources they need so that they can get these results as quickly as possible. Michael J. Fox has a great way of thinking about our foundation's role when he talks about a department of cures. We'd all like to imagine an office where a high-level official sits at the center of all this work with a smart and comprehensive view of the entire field, orchestrating the efforts of all the players working on these complex problems. And then we'd like to have someone whose job it would be just to keep the whole business moving in an efficient way to assure that the best ideas are on a streamlined path towards the patients who need them. Sadly, there is no department like that. But this is the role our foundation is endeavoring to play in Parkinson's disease research. We've built a team of PhD neuroscientists paired with business-trained project leaders. Sitting at the global nexus of Parkinson's research, this team comes to work every day with one urgent goal: to prioritize research that can transform patients' lives. And in our short history, we have built the credibility and expertise to make real inroads. We understand not only science, but the business of science. And we're willing to take higher risks that can tilt the odds in favor of success. And we are seeing real progress. Today, more ideas are flowing into translation, and many of them are progressing from there to that vital Q to Z phase. Our work goes far beyond check writing. We really assess what is needed to get from A to Z, and then we bring it. I wouldn't want to leave you with the impression that any of this is easy. We must be sober about the work that needs to be done. But it'll be a great day when we find that last breakthrough. Patients have the treatments they need, and we can close our doors. Until then, we will keep at it and do whatever it takes. We're problem solvers, and we're optimistic.
So that's pretty enlightening about
Yes,
the
it was.
process that is involved with putting together cures. It's a long road. And
It's not even a cure. It could be just something that helps.
treatment, right.
Yeah.
Cure would be awesome. So it is a long road, takes a lot of money, takes a lot of help.
I can't
takes
believe the number of
everybody
years,
involved.
15 to 30 years.
Right.
Jeez.
And so we really would like it if you could help us out. I have a little something I wanted to read. This is I guess it's kind of an endorsement, but...
What do you mean, kind of?
Let me read it. This is from Harvey Leonard, who, as you probably know, is the chief meteorologist from WCVB-TV in Boston.
Channel 5.
And he writes, I want to commend Ed for spearheading efforts to raise money for Parkinson's disease research. It's important for us all to contribute what we can so that a cure can one day be found for this terrible disease. Signed, Harvey Leonard.
Well,
That's
good.
how he signs his stuff.
Good. Yeah, he signs it, yes.
So, without further ado, I guess we want to start talking about the tornadoes and hurricanes.
Yes.
And was there anything you wanted to say about a tornado or a hurricane before I start asking you some questions?
They're related.
They are related.
What? Yes.
One's a small spinny thing, one's a big spinny thing.
You're too technical for me. What, are you taking my class or something?
No. Would I pass your class?
No, you wouldn't. Even I gave you the answers.
Oh my.
Hurricanes include hurricanes have tornadoes in them, because the ones that are in the plain states, that's not a hurricane. That's from severe thunderstorms. Like the one that blasted Moore, Oklahoma yesterday.
And that was how does that compare to other hurricanes?
How about tornadoes? It's not a hurricane.
Sorry.
He's been drinking.
Details. Yeah, you know.
What was the question?
How does it compare
that's
to
a
other
biggie.
tornadoes?
I mean, it's on. There was a scale, the Fujita scale. Yes, thank you. From Professor Fujita from the University of Chicago. I think in 1971 he came out with it. Day off, he did this, and it didn't take he didn't take into account what a building is made out of, what material. There's an enhanced Fujita now.
And that's the EF scale.
Right. Yes, it's the EF scale. It goes 0 to 5, I believe. And the one yesterday, it's either a 4 or a 5. They're not finished.
And so basically, this is based on the Three Little Pigs.
You're going to have 3 little pigs in a minute. You're pregnant again?
So, yeah, it
Your wife
depends. You know,
know about
is it made out of straw? Is it made out of wood? Or is it made out of brick?
Or
that
right,
matters.
or reinforced concrete with everything, yeah.
Okay.
Right, because obviously it's harder to knock down a building made out of brick than it is one made out of straw, Mr. Pig.
That is true.
Thank you.
You can huff and you can... Never mind.
Never mind.
All right. So,
this was the latest I saw was a half a mile wide, it's a big one, and it was on the ground for 20 minutes. See, in olden days, there was nothing there, you know?
yeah, when I think of a hurricane, I think of something that maybe cuts...
Excuse me, a tornado.
Tornado.
He flunked my class twice.
Totally.
Idiot.
All right, so when I think of a tornado, I think
Yes.
of something that is fairly narrow, you know? I mean, it might go down...
Well, yeah, half a mile is fairly narrow compared to the whole world, but
Well,
not for,
I think,
not
you
for
know,
a
he
tornado.
goes through a neighborhood and he takes out, you know, this line of houses, but
Right,
the
it
ones
goes
next
down
to
the
it are
line.
untouched.
But if it's a half a mile wide, that's a lot of stuff
it's
in
a
there.
lot of houses, right?
Yeah, that's technical talk stuff.
Yeah. So
They revised the death toll downward, because down to 24 last I heard, from 50-some, because they were double counting. I mean, you know, it's confusion.
yeah, true.
Would it hit 2 elementary schools, a hospital, and some performing arts center?
So the question, obviously, that everybody has is, how does a tornado form? How does this happen?
Well, a thunderstorm gets out of hand, all right? You have warm, humid air, and you get upward motion. The air's loaded with moisture, and you have the sun heats up the air especially, and then you have instability aloft. The aloft is coming up.
The unstable a lot.
And now with global warming, I mean, this has got to be connected. We didn't have ones like this, all right, before. We're going to have more of them. First of all, the climate's changed. Summer out here, for crying out loud. And so it gets warmer, more humid. Means the atmosphere is going to hold more moisture. The warmer the atmosphere is, the more moisture it can hold.
All right, so let's...
And so, wait a minute. So you're just asking for it.
I just want to talk about hurricanes so badly.
Are you well? We have a rehab
never
center
well.
you can go to.
Do we?
Yes.
All right, continue. Sorry.
My garage. No, I'm finished. Go ahead.
Now he's done. Okay. I don't even remember what I was going to ask you.
That was the point. Go ahead.
All right, no, I do remember. All right, the question is about this global warming thing.
Yes.
All right, so essentially what global warming is saying is that total temperature is rising, right?
Rising.
Rising.
Although you can have pockets where it's cooler, but overall.
Exactly. So some places may actually be getting colder.
Yeah, for a time.
For a time. Okay.
Sure isn't the Arctic, because the...
Now I'm trying to zero in on how this happens. Okay, because now these disturbances, these stable weather patterns, they're really created by differences between cold and hot, correct?
Right.
Okay, so if you...
Yeah, warm, hot, and colder air or cooler air and MSs and a lot of upward motion.
So when you have greater differences in temperature, you're going to get more violent storms.
You're asking for trouble is what the problem is.
Okay. So I'm trying to zero in on this and, and also to help people understand how global warming...
How's what?
How global warming is actually contributing to more
I just
violent storms.
That the atmosphere...
But I said it more clearly.
I'm sorry, that's not in my repertoire. It gets warmer, the atmosphere, because global warming. You can hold more moisture, all right? And so these things seem to be getting more wilder. Is it more wild? Never mind.
You choose.
He was the actor. All right?
Okay. More wild?
Doesn't matter. Was there an
Must
actor?
have been an old movie.
Wilder? Oscar Wilde, yes.
Oh, that's...
Go ahead.
I'm familiar with
All right,
Oscar
never
Wilde.
mind. Just keep going.
Okay. So,
will you stop reading and keep going?
I have to make sure I don't ask the same questions twice.
I never stopped you before.
Crossing them out. Fine.
Yeah.
How does a tornado form?
What?
What?
Oh, did you ask that?
Of course I did.
Okay, go ahead.
None of us really
Just
know what's
sitting
going
here.
on here.
You had these lights baking you, you'd be sitting.
I'm sorry.
Never mind, you're not sorry.
All right, so we do have some questions here.
wanna get
First
to
one
them?
is from Ed in Westford.
Who the hell is that? Oh, sorry, gosh, who's that?
Some old guy. He irritates the heck out of me.
Really?
His question is, what is Tornado Alley?
Map, please.
There's a map. We have a map.
We have a
actually.
map. Oh,
Ooh,
could you
look
make
at
it a little
that.
smaller so we can't see it? There you go.
Hey, look
see
at
that
that.
red area?
I see it.
That's basically Tornado Alley. Actually, it goes up a little farther, but that's okay. Oklahoma's right in there. In the they get so many tornadoes in Tornado Alley. That's that area. That's the red area. That's why they call it Tornado Alley.
Wow.
I'm gonna smack you, silly. And Oklahoma wins. Oh, thank you for taking that. Oklahoma wins it because if you go, that's the maximum.
Because they're smack dab in the middle of that.
No, they get the most for the. Yeah, they're like they have Nissan Maximas sitting there. Get the maximum.
All right, now I have a question from Steve.
Steve, okay.
Steve, yes. What is the worst quadrant of a hurricane?
How do we go from tornado? Don't you have any more tornado questions?
You want more tornado questions? I don't have any more tornado questions.
I thought you had it. All right.
Sorry, they're related anyways, right?
Anyways, it's anyway. All right, if you picture a piece of pie, you cut it up into quarters, not half dollars. If you take a look at the upper right, that would be the right front quadrant. That is the worst part of a hurricane. The worst, because you line it up with the movement of the storm, so the circulation is counterclockwise, which is ridiculous this way, counterclockwise, and that's the way the movement of the storm. So the movement of the storm gets added onto the circulation, and it says, look out. That's the strongest. The weakest is the lower left piece. So I take the lower left. Not that it's a picnic or anything. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now that we're talking about hurricanes. Yeah. Now that we're talking about hurricanes.
You're going slow today. Pick it up.
Well, we only got 9 minutes left. Surface winds, all right, here we go. Surface winds associated with a hurricane usually weaken after the system passes over relatively cold surface ocean waters or after the system makes landfall. Why does the hurricane weaken?
And who's that from?
That is from Joe Moran.
Not Moran. Moran.
Moran.
Moran. Well, here
Joe
comes
Moran.
the Irish. Here goes the Irish contribution.
And he's from Green
Bay,
in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
He
right.
used to live here. He's from Boston area. Okay. The energy that the hurricane gets is from tropical waters, very warm water. So if you go over colder water, it starts losing its energy and it would start to weaken. If it goes over land, then you've cut the water source off, so that the winds drop off relatively fast, but the drenching rains don't. Okay, they having a fight in that control room or something?
Well, people at home can't hear that.
They can't hear it. Well, I
just
can,
ignore it.
and it's bothering me. Quiet in the control room again.
All right, I
ahead.
got another question.
Really?
This is from Anonymous.
Anonymous?
Anonymous.
Yes.
What is a storm surge?
Oh, a storm surge is in the right front quadrant of the hurricane. That's where the strongest winds are, and so all this water gets built up and it crashes ashore. I mean, some of these things can be 20 feet high. I mean,
That's why like half of these coastal towns end up underwater when you have
and then
big
they
storms.
rebuild them, of course, when they
And
shouldn't.
then they rebuild them.
We shouldn't put them in. And on the other side of it, in the left front quadrant, actually the water gets blown out. Not that it's a picnic over there. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, what do you think overall? I mean, should we be what should our policy be on when we have a community that's
Wiped
essentially
out.
destroyed by a storm?
And land. For instance, the Outer Banks of North Carolina are going to be becoming the no banks. Don't let them build there. We're paying for it, just like in California with the fires. They're you know, these fires. Well, you're living in the forest there where the fires are. Oh, let's go back and rebuild. Yeah, right. Or Hull here gets wiped out, right, with a storm. Well, let's go back and fix that. But they shouldn't be living. Oh, that goes that unit too. They shouldn't be living there in the first place.
Yeah, honestly, I never understood Katrina when we realized that there were people that were living below sea level.
Oh, that's another great one. In New Orleans, you can't bury anybody. They're all above ground.
Yeah, so at what point do we decide, hey, let's just not live there?
Oh, Mother Nature's deciding that. Because I don't know if they're calling the bayous, but the lower part of Louisiana, it's disappearing. The water level's rising. But since the New Orleans Pelicans, the basketball team, is still available to play, we don't care about that, of course, right?
Of course.
There's probably stuff from a lot of places from when Katrina went in there that they still haven't been rebuilt. Do we hear about it? No. We got more important things like, I don't know, Bruins. Oh, sorry. It's cool.
All right, I got another question. And this one here...
you needn't preface them all. Go ahead. Next question.
Okay, I have another question. I don't know who this one's from.
It doesn't matter. It's
I wanted
anonymous
to preface it.
Oh, sorry.
Fine. What is a microburst, and how does it differ from a tornado?
It's a big shave. No, it's... It's a good shot of wind coming down with some cool air as the thunderstorm comes in, right? There's no circulation to it. Means it's not any twisting motion. So that's just a downburst.
Okay.
It can knock over things. But if it knocked over something, since it's not in a counterclockwise flow, the damage would be straight line. If it's from a tornado, it lines up in a counterclockwise destruction area.
They actually go on to ask, we have had several around this part of the state recently, and I don't remember ever hearing about them before. Are they being called by a new name?
Several what?
Microbursts.
No, they just, we got 52 of them people on each station, 96 of them in the closet, and they come out, right? The 200,000. I'm trying to say there's too much already, except for Harvey. He's the best one, and not because he just said that for me, but he's calm, doesn't go through this, he's calm, he's very good.
All right.
There's too many. Yesterday with the tornado, my God, my chipmunk started giving me, you know about tornadoes, don't you? What are you, a weather expert? Right? My God, I don't know what worked.
That's where you're getting your forecasting information from?
No, it's from the squirrel. He keeps it.
Squirrels.
Keeps bringing it in. Yeah.
Okay.
Little Rodney.
I see. So we have some
Don't
other...
see anything. Go ahead.
I kind of ran out of tornado and
got my
hurricane
Nixon
questions.
sweating mustache here.
Sorry.
No, you're not sorry. I passed out. You don't care. Go ahead.
Now I've got a couple that come from our friend from Russia.
With love?
Yes.
From Russia.
Trevor
with love.
Savlasnyog.
Trevor hits you about it.
Yes.
Well, there's a lightning question.
There's a lightning. You didn't give
Go
me a
ahead,
lightning
go.
question.
There was from the guy in Moscow.
Oh.
Well, go ahead
let
with
me read
Trevor
it.
Gabahusov. Go
All
ahead.
right, I'm going to read his first question. I'm going to go in order. I was wondering if the thunderstorms in the United States of America are the same strengths as the ones in Mother Russia.
Mother Russia?
Mother Russia.
Can I choke here? I would say that maybe, I don't know this for sure. I'm a California girl. And I would think maybe they're worse here because we got the
You're
moisture.
from New York.
I'm from South Bronx, New York.
Okay. So what was the question
Hey,
again?
Jew. I would think they're worse here because we got that supply of moisture out of the Gulf or the Atlantic. They don't have that in Mother Russia. Because it's landlocked.
So you think Trevor would know that? If he came from Russia, he should know that our thunderstorms are
He's
worse.
in the interior. He hasn't been here. He's comparing.
Oh,
I have to bail him out every time. Go ahead.
All right, here's another question from Trevor. I've heard...
Not Trevor again.
Trevor.
Trevor?
Trebor.
Oh, try that.
Could be.
Trebor?
B.
Wait a minute.
I've heard what seems like a contradiction.
Yes?
Lightning starts from the ground up, But I've noticed from the sky that lightning moves from the highest altitude to the lowest
Not
altitude.
necessarily. All right, go ahead.
There's more.
Go.
I've also heard that the process of a lightning bolt involves what is called a step leader. Could you clear this up for me?
That was a dance team, wasn't it? The Steps?
Step leader?
Step leader, yeah. First of all, lightning stroke. Any of a series of repeated electrical discharges comprising a single lightning discharge, better known as strike, not in baseball. Specifically in the case of a cloud-to-ground discharge, a leader plus his subsequent return streamer. See, you could be seeing return. The return. All right? This is the government, so it's got to be right. And there are a variety of different forms of lightning. Observers see lightning differently depending on where they are situated. Why am I yelling? All right.
Oh, I'm right here.
That's the problem. Major forms of lightning include forked lightning, like this. See a fork come out. It's a snake. Streak lightning, ribbon lightning, and chain lightning. That's from Unchained Melody. There are also rare forms of lightning such as ball lightning, red sprites. This guy's drinking. Blue jets, and of course, the Blue Jets, the football team, and elves that have been documented. What?
Did you say elves were documented?
Yes, they were documented.
Documented elves?
Yes, sir. There's forked lightning in which visible branches are present. Streak lightning is a bolt that appears to be single, arc-shaped line. And ribbon lightning, I guess it had a typewriter, is viewed as parallel streaks of light. It is caused when winds separate the strokes of the bolt. There's chain lightning, also called bead lightning. Who asked this question? It's characterized by a bolt that breaks into dotted lines as it fades. There's ball lightning. It's unknown why it's called ball lightning or why it occurs. All right. So sometimes you see the return stroke and not the original one.
So there's many different types of lightning.
I think there must be, but I've never seen red cusp lightning. What the hell is that? Must have been communist. Boy, it's a good thing McCarthy didn't know about that.
So we only got like about a minute left.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to ask you a question that's been sitting on my list of questions for a while.
Sitting on your duff.
Yeah, well, this one's from Cheryl Izuta.
Who?
Cheryl Izuta.
Izuta. Yeah, right.
What is your take on global warming and its effect on local weather patterns? Is it going to get worse? What will happen in the future?
It's going to get worse. What's the matter with you?
Well,
I could be
was
like a
crazy.
politician. Well, I'll get back to you on that. No, it's going to be worse. When we had that strange winter, that storm 750 miles away, and we got 14 inches of snow. Come on, that doesn't happen. We had Hurricane Sandy. We got these vicious tornadoes in the center of the country. Don't look at me like that.
All right, I got a quick question for you. I got to ask this because it's still related. Enjoyed your video, and I would like to ask a question. I could figure out that you believe that global warming is caused by environmental reasons, but I was not sure if you also believe that the Earth has been gradually warming up since the last ice age. That's from Maryland and North Reading.
I don't know if it's been since the last ice age, but...
Haven't you been around?
Short of that, I was with Moses.
Okay.
No, because I know it's been, when I was a little boy, 50s and 60s, man, there was every time you lift your elbow, there was a snow, turned around, there was a snowstorm going on, then it stopped. And it's been warming for a while. So I don't know if it's continuous. It can't be, because there was a little ice age in the 17-somethings in Europe. That's when sunspot activity dropped off for some unknown reason. And they had a little ice age.
We should talk about this more. All right, so we got to wrap it up. We're gonna fall over time here. Please send your questions to weathered@westfordcat.org.
How about sending some in, folks?
Send some in, please, please.
And the money, please.
And the money, please. Yes, don't forget. Send in $25 for Parkinson's research.
I said that we wanted to get to 1,000 by the end of the month. We're already at 1,005. Excuse me, I'm already at 1,005, right?
All right, so we're done. We're out of time.
Yes.
We will see you in hopefully 2 weeks.
No, what do you mean hopefully? Something you don't know?
Something could happen.
What? Do I get paid? No, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Bye, folks. You get paid too much. All right, we're supposed to play around?